Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Hi, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
My name is Sandra Daniels. I'm the owner and founder of Hippos Hashbrowns Bakery in East Dallas.
Awesome. So how did you get the idea to open and start this bakery?
It was kind of born out of necessity. We had moved back to Texas from 14 years of living overseas, and I needed to find a way to get an income while still staying at home. Something I could work from home doing. So started out as a cottage bakery, baking from home and selling at the local farmers market.
Awesome. So in terms of like the types of products that you sell, what does that look like? And how do you, do you differentiate yourselves from other bakeries in the area?
We're completely different from other bakeries in the area because we don't do maybe the typical bakery things that you would expect. We started out doing, of course, like I said, because it was a cottage bakery, I had to confine myself to doing things that could be done under those laws. But I had made a little like whole grain seeded crisp during our years overseas, and I served it to everybody that, came to visit, and they loved it. Oh, you could sell these. You could sell these. So I started with that and just basically things that I made for my family all the time. Like quick breads and muffins, that little cracker, granola, things like that. And it was pretty quick to see that the foodies that I'd been talking to said, you know what, people really just want you to bake for them. They don't want to do it for themselves. Take your baked goods, go to the farmer's market, sell it there. And they were right. So after doing that for about a couple of years, I realized there was a wholesale opportunity, particularly with that little cracker, because by that time, I think that was like 2016, 2017. And the thrill over locally produced goods was huge. Retailers were looking for that kind of thing, and nobody else was doing that particular item as a local product. So all I had to do was find commercial kitchen space, jump through all the legal hoops, which are many and frustrating. And then we started taking that to wholesale, to retail accounts around town and that kind of thing. So
For sure. So can you just talk more about that? I'm curious, like what does wholesale look like? I think that many people have a general idea of what that means, but I guess what is that, how does that, change your business? And how does that help you as well?
It's really helped. The business is really about half and half wholesale and then half direct to consumer, because we still do farmers markets. And then we opened up a little small grab and go shop last spring. So we still have about half and half, but the wholesale business really helps with brand recognition. It really helps with credibility when people walk up to your booth at the farmers market and they go, oh, I've seen this at Whole Foods. It took us a little bit of time to get to that point, but honestly, they discovered us, at the farmers market. So it's a good way to get discovered.
For sure. So in terms of wholesale, are you selling nationwide and Whole Foods across the country or only in Texas? What does that look like?
We sell to all the local stores in the DFW area. So we do our own deliveries to them. So we are, in connection with the team members at the store, which is terrific. They have a great staff. They have great team members, great people. They're very supportive, very encouraging. So we get orders directly from those 14 stores and we deliver directly to the stores. So no, we're not nationwide with them by any means.
Is that your vision, or do you guys kind of want to stay where you're at now in terms of just doing local? What's on the pipeline for 2024?
For 2024, we're really trying to build the traffic to the shop. I don't know if I'd ever want to go national with a retailer because I'd have to have a factory. I'd have to hand off manufacturing. That would be a whole different ball game. And I'd have to have several more really trusted people that wanted to partner with me on that, and investors, because that's $1 million project.
Right.
And I don't have that in my back pocket. And I don't really know that I want to be indebted to somebody for that. But, I mean, if the right opportunity came along, that would be down the road a little bit. But for the immediate future, we're working on trying to build traffic to the shop and building a community around that. And it's coming, it's happening.
Right. So in terms of like really scaling things up, so is it more of like that you were so like obviously going national is not something that you're thinking about, but it's more of just the issue of, getting like the funding and then also I think that you mentioned a concern about quality control, right? That your concern is like,
Yeah.
okay, if you scale, what's the quality of the products actually, going to be?
Yeah, I have a completely different product at that point. I have the product that I'm in competition with, and I'm not differentiated, like you say. I don't really seek to be the biggest, box on the block, but I want to be the best that I can be and provide a really high quality, affordable product for people. As far as wholesale expansion, we definitely could do more with that particular item. But the other item that is growing in wholesale numbers are our frozen biscuits. We do take and bake frozen biscuits. And we have a lot of opportunity there because they don't require near the manpower, near the manufacturing power to expand on that the little crackers would, because they're made with a bowl by hand by a person. So
Right.
that would be a great way to expand wholesale, would be through biscuits. Yeah, that I'm
Right.
ready for.
So, like in terms of like it's like you mentioned, right, this kind of brand awareness, right? So, has that been like you mentioned, obviously farmers markets and people seeing it on the shelves? Have you run like any ads or any like other campaigns to get in front of more people?
I've not really done any large scale paid marketing spend at all. Most of the growth that we've experienced has been organic. We've gotten very good publicity from local publications, Edible DFW, The Advocate, D Magazine. I'm probably leaving somebody out, but anyway, but those were some really, really good publications that we got great publicity from. There is an online publication called Voyage that I've partnered with, but they're a very affordable, inexpensive option. And, they've done some online marketing. They've gotten me some free photo shoots, that kind of thing. So we're pretty low key and low scale on the spending front for marketing.
So, has that company essentially like have they helped you get into these publications, or I guess like what has that been like? I guess like for somebody who wants to get published, like how have you been able to achieve that?
Do the right thing, do it really well, and you get noticed. If you are consistently producing a quality product, and I hate to say it, month after month, year after year, you do come to the notice of those people, and put yourself in the places where those people are. I think authenticity is probably one of the key values of the company, integrity, and that gets you noticed by publications that deal in food with integrity. And that's where we want to be. I don't want to be fast paced, flash in the pan, glitz and glitter. No, I want to give people a good quality product that is exactly what they would make if they were making it at home, or, their grandmother made it. And we get told that a lot. Oh, this tastes just like my grandmother's pound cake. Wow, wow, wow. Or these are the best biscuits I ever had. So we use simple ingredients. We do it just like you would do if you were, doing it in your kitchen. But we've done it for you. We've taken the hard work out of it and given you a very high quality product at what I think is an extremely reasonable price.
That's awesome. So, what would you say is like the biggest challenge that you face in your business right now?
For me personally, the biggest challenge is still kind of managing everything, the bookkeeping, the sourcing, the supplying, the costing, and I'm still in the kitchen, which I like being in the kitchen. But, when we get to holiday season, I'm in the kitchen a lot. And then some of those other things kind of go by the wayside. The biggest challenge this year is probably getting the sales in, getting the revenue in through the store where I can afford to source out some of that other work.
Right.
I'd like to be able to afford a bookkeeper, to be very honest with you. That's a challenge right now.
Right. So essentially kind of scaling up your cash flow. That way you have extra funds to get these people, to hire more folks to help you out because
Exactly.
you're basically just one person, running like the whole operation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing that. That sounds bad because that's not true. But as far as the operational aspects of it and that kind of thing, yes. I mean, I have excellent people that work for me and work with me. My husband works a full-time job and he has taken on the role of delivery guy on his days off. And procurement, if we need something, he's going and getting it. We got to pick up labels. We got to pick up. It's not as easy to get supplies for everything, even ingredients, as people think it is. It's not just a matter of getting an account with one of the big guys and going, this is everything I need this week, because they don't have everything you need this week and they don't have the best price on everything either. So we still have to source from multiple locations so that we can get the pricing that we want and the quality that we want on the ingredients. So he's really helpful. Of course, he's the big cheerleader, encourager as well, which that's a big help. Full-time chef, part-time baker, and farmers market staff, which we're expanding this year. So, hiring quality people is key to making things happen. So you just kind of have to wait till you find them. And once you do find them, then you can go forward and do anything. I mean, I'm a firm believer. If you find the right people and you find quality people, you can do anything.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to find good people. So in terms of, obviously now in 2024, that many companies are looking at the use case for things like AI. So do you guys use AI in the business? And if not, like, where do you see it maybe coming in and playing a role this year?
I have no idea how to do that. That would be this other person over here. If there's a person that knows how to do that and I'm related to them or they want to work for free or very low cost, that's good. But I don't know how to do that. And that's just one of those things that I don't have time to learn. It's not going to be easy for me to learn that. So that's not on my list of things.
For sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you started this company?
Is there one? There's a lot of advice. It's going to be harder than you think, and it's going to cost more than you think. But be authentic, be consistent, and focus on what you're good at. Because there will be a million things that you need to do that you're not good at, and that's going to be frustrating. So focus on what you do and what you do well, and finding really good people who can help you with that.
That's good advice. Yeah, I mean, costing more and taking more time is a very common thing that we hear on the show. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
I think we'll be in a very stable place with a really good growth pattern in effect. The store was necessary because we needed our own dedicated kitchen. We were using a shared hourly rental kitchen up until that time, and it just didn't make sense anymore. But that was very costly. So last year was extremely costly. We didn't get to expand into a second market like I wanted to defray that cost. So that really put us behind. However, this year, we're definitely expanding into a second market. So we'll be doing 2 farmers markets this year. So we'll be getting a stable base this year. We're going to use those things to drive traffic to the store so that we can get more of those direct consumer dollars, because obviously that's a higher profit margin. And a year from now, I hope that I'll be able to say, yes, I've been able to get some of those people on board to help out with some of those needs that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we're rooting for you guys. So if somebody watching this wanted to reach out, do you mind sharing your website or social media? I guess best ways to get in contact with you.
Best way to get into contact with me is probably through social media. Our website is hipposandhashbrowns.com. On Instagram, I'm Hippos and Hash Browns. If you want to see the real personality of the business owner, follow me on Instagram because, again, I'm very transparent, very authentic. I do my own social media. I do all of that. And I don't have any desire to let somebody take that over because I think that's what makes the business unique. People know me. People at the farmers market know me. It's a community. I've been there for 6 years, I think now. And so we built up a strong community, and that's what I want to be. I want people to know who they're getting it from, and I want to know them and have them know me. So yeah, definitely check us out on Instagram, Facebook, website. Yeah. And come to the store. Come to our store at Casa View.
It sounds great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
You bet. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.